Howdy, howdy, it's me again. Gross. I'm trying to come up with like a catchy what's up y'all? But I'm usually like, hey guys. But I don't know. It's starting to become like too much. So I'm just gonna hop right in the another dream story that I have. This was actually one of the first notebooks I began writing my dreams in. But this isn't that type, like this is a notebook for my poetry. I write stories. This is where I jot down my ideas, character names, possible plots. Sometimes I doodle while I'm at work just because it's on my desk, but it turned into a dream journal in August of last year, 2023, because I started having very vivid dreams about my father and other situations in my life. And something just told me to start writing it down. Now here we are. I have about 4 or 5 dream stories in this notebook alone, and then I continue the rest of my dreams in the notebook I showed you last time. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning of when I began recording my dreams. Now, I mentioned an ex in the previous dream video. This is the same ex that I'm going to be reading about today. Before he passed away in February of 2024, I had a dream about him August 18th, 2023. Last night was another dreamland filled with that familiar feeling of love and happiness. It was started oddly with me getting food in a McDonald's drive-thru. My bag was filled with McChickens, McDoubles, and regular cheeseburgers. A lot of food for one person. I mean, it had to be like 10 sandwiches in the bag. It turns out they weren't all for me because I was sent on a food run by my ex and his friends and everyone else in the house, including the children that were running around. Now, this wasn't new to me because when we would hang out while we were dating, we would go to houses of his friends, his family, and there were always kids running around and his friends and his family just, in and out the door, visiting, joking, just relaxing, having a good time. And, I went from the drive-through to this house. So it was like a cutscene, if you will. I looked in the bag at McDonald's like, wow, these are a lot of sandwiches. And then I looked up and I was walking in this house. It felt familiar, but I don't think I've ever been here. And I had the McDonald's bag. I'm walking in with the food, and I knew it was for my ex because he greeted me with, kisses and smiles and attention. So I wanted to melt in his arms. I always did while he was here. I mean, the guy he just does something to me. I don't know. I think about him every day, and whenever we were together in person, I just couldn't get enough of him. Staring at him, playing in his hair. He used to call me a creep because I would just like stare at him so much. But anyways, I was met with his kisses and his attention, and we snuck off, to do adult things. Now, I didn't see what we did exactly. I just saw us go into a room and then another cutscene, and I was walking out into the hallway. You just know, like, you feel different after you do stuff. That's how I know we just did stuff. Anyways, continuing. After, I'm opening the door, walking out the room after we did whatever, and he's gone. So I'm thinking like either I woke up, like either I fell asleep after and I woke up and he's gone, or he just disappeared as I opened this door. So I just decided to give myself a tour because, like I said, the house felt familiar, but I'd never been there. So now I'm walking down the hallways, I'm going room to room. I peek in one room and there are kids in there, toys, all type of stuff. And it's just a bunch of kids playing with the toys, and there's like a TV going in the background. So I kind of smile, and I began to move on. As I began to move down the hallway, I heard music. It was definitely from inside the house, and it sounded like a studio, because like you could hear the beat starting over and over and over again. You heard people talking, and like different people like rapping one word, and then this person was rapping something else. And like I could just hear, I hear men babbling, and I smell the smoke, from them smoking while they're writing. And I peek across the hallway from the kids' room that I just looked in, and it's, guys coming out of the room, and behind him, there's, like I saw soundboards, men bobbing their heads up and down, either writing or on their phones. If not, they were passing, and laughing at jokes. I realized I had roamed away from him, my ex, so I began to search for him. I stumbled upon a session, like a session, downstairs at the house with a female and some guy that was like his. Okay, there was like a couch over here, a couch over here, and the doorway where I came out of was next to this couch. So this couch is here. I walk out. There, the girl is sitting on this couch, and the couch across from her is a guy. In front of the couches is a TV, and he's playing a game on this couch with the remote facing this TV. And then it was like the living room itself was only lit up by the TV, but you could see the light from the kitchen behind me. So the girl was kind of like sitting on the arm of the couch. So when I walked in, we made immediate eye contact. She elevators me as soon as I come through the door, right? So I come through the door and she does one of those, but not like in a attractive way, more like in a who is this girl kind of way. So she elevators me, staring at my feet before asking me to join. So I oblige and I join. The gamer guy on the other couch is also, so we're all passing it to each other, but he's not saying anything. She's in, oh, actually it says she's in an armchair. So I guess this is an armchair, and then he's on a couch. The TV is huge. We didn't even need a lamp. I'm studying the living room now, realizing she's staring at me. So have you seen, this is me asking her, like, so have you seen, and suddenly my ex comes from behind me. He leans in to kiss me. His arm is behind my neck. We're doing that, and the female is surprised, but she starts giggling. She goes, talking to my ex, she goes, oh, this is you? Like, in other words, like, oh, this is your girlfriend? Like, oh, this pretty girl, that's who you talking to? That's what that means. So she's like, oh, this you? And she's making eye contact with my ex. He says yes, and then after laughing with me and the girl, he looks at me and says, I'm about to go handle some business. You straight? My heart felt a little sad, but I said yes with a full smile. He kissed me goodbye. The female began, passing. It was my turn. She's passing it to me again. He quickly takes a couple puffs, and then he says, I love you. And I said, I love you too. One more kiss, and then he takes off. She resumes our conversation. She asks me about my family, my love life, my goals. After asking me questions, she suddenly begins to try to tell me something. Like, I'm in the middle of answering one of her questions, and she like cuts me off because it's almost like she's trying to alert me about something. She goes, dude was here a long time. And by dude, she's referring to my ex-boyfriend. And I said, who, him or the guy that I was just telling you about that I broke up with? Because she was asking me questions, and somehow we began talking about this breakup that I just experienced in real life in March. I'm having this dream in August. And she interrupts me as I'm talking about this past relationship, and she goes, no. Like, the guy that just kissed you, in other words, my ex, like, he's been here for a while. My friend knows him too. And as soon as she gets into her story, she's interrupted. There's a knock on the door, like the front door. She gives me a look that's like, go get it. As I pass to the dude gaming, she's like, go get it. It's another artist, and I can tell I knew him because I quickly let him in. Like, there was like I didn't stand there and stare at him like, who is this? And I didn't walk up to the door like, what is going on? Who is this? I don't know this person. Somehow I know this person. I didn't recognize his face. I just knew who he was in the dream. So I opened the door for him, and the first thing this guy does was he started hitting on me. Like, he passes me as I open the door for him, and he slapped my butt. He slapped my butt. And I'm thinking, like, Anybody that hangs out with me and this ex-boyfriend, they know I am off limits. And if we're there together, we're together. Like, there's no funny business. I'm not flirting with any of his friends. We don't play that. So in the dream, I'm shocked. And I start hitting him, like on the arm. I'm hitting him and I'm telling him, like, never do that again. So I let him walk in front of me because I do not trust this guy. He stops in the living room to speak to the girl and, like, the gamer guy. He starts hugging and kissing, or, you know, attempting to kiss the female that was in the armchair. But she seemed uncomfortable, just as uncomfortable as I was when he smacked my butt without permission. I can tell right away he's one of those guys, you know, like the creepy uncle or the where's my hug kind of guy, touching and rubbing where he's not supposed to. So anyways, he's trying to kiss her. She's uncomfortable. She's pushing him away. And, you know, he was just like touchy feely with everybody and like constantly crossing boundaries. Gamer guy, like as soon as this guy entered the living room, gamer guy who hasn't moved this entire time unless to pass this, who hasn't said anything the whole time, the man hasn't even turned around to look at anybody. I kid you not, like since I've walked into this living room and began talking to this girl, this guy has been like, I've seen the back of his head the whole time. As soon as this other guy that I let in comes into the living room, he's attentive all of a sudden. He shifts his position. He's not leaned over and relaxed as he's playing the game anymore. He kind of sits up and I can see like the side of his face doing this. Kind of like checking to make sure the guy isn't doing too much, if you will. He's laughing along with them, which, like I said, he hasn't said anything or done anything up until this point. Once the creepy guy gets to messing with the female and they're laughing, he joins in and he's laughing too. But it seems like he's done gaming. Like his laughing doesn't feel sincere. It doesn't sound sincere. And he suddenly puts the remote down and now he's done with the game. He takes off his headphones, his gaming headphones, and he puts up the controller. The female, she's still being smothered by this guy at this point. And gamer guy, he kind of like comes over and gives him like a warning before going into the kitchen. I followed the gamer guy into the kitchen because I don't feel safe in this living room with this creepy guy. And I know I've been talking to this female, but I can't tell if she like what he doing or not. So I'm going to follow yeah. So we go into the kitchen and I'm hoping I can dodge this like touchy feely guy. Like he's distracted with her. Maybe I can sneak in the kitchen and just kind of wait here until my ex gets back. So the female on the couch, I call her female because she didn't give me a name in the dream. So she finally gets him off of her. They exchange like a brief conversation. You know, the playfulness kind of died down and they're kind of like, you know, how you doing today? How you doing today? Oh, I'm okay. They're having that type of conversation. And like as he's having this conversation with her, he starts to follow us into the kitchen as well. So gamer guy begins to like, it looks like he's about to cook, which I also thought was weird because I just brought a huge bag of McDonald's. But then again, it was only like 10 sandwiches and there were a lot of people in the house. So it could have been there wasn't enough McDonald's. The man got hungry. He was about to cook. Whatever. Watching this guy get ready to cook something. And as I'm watching him do that, I noticed that there are stairs. Like, okay, so I come back through the kitchen. I'm facing like this way. And the stove is to my left and the stairs are to my right. I turned around and faced the stove to watch this guy prep his food. And I noticed, I turned back around and noticed that there were stairs behind me. So I, trying to avoid the touchy guy, I slowly make my way to the bottom of the stairs without making it look so rushy and weird. So the touchy guy sprints like he sees me inching towards the stairs and he just sprints towards me. Where are you going? I want to come. He says, snickering, like the way he said it was like, I want to go. Like it was weird and it made me feel so gross. So I tried to walk faster, but he stops me like by my waist as I'm going up the stairs. He, how someone grabs you like right above your hips? He grabbed me by my waist and midway through the flight of stairs. And we're still, it's like one of those stairs where like you can still see the kitchen as you're going up the stairs, and then at some point there's like a cutoff, like a wall that separates the room from the stairs. So I'm like right before that point. So the female tells him, like, you need to back off. She ain't the only fine motherfucker in this house. These are literally her words. It's like she was pissed off because the touchy guy kept going after me. Which, hey, I didn't give a fuck. At least she was keeping him away from me. But I couldn't understand where this weird sudden jealousy came from. Like, I felt it. So I tried to break away, you know, as everybody's like laughing at her, saying, oh, she ain't the only fine motherfucker. Everybody's laughing. The gamer guy, her, and the guy that just snatched me by my waist. So I used this opportunity to escape. Gamer guy looks at what's happening, and he's growing, you can tell in his face, he's annoyed. He's getting so annoyed. And he tells this guy, hey bro, I gotta holler at you about something. And I woke up. That was it. I don't know what. Y'all tell me. I don't know.